Alright guys, so my name is Angelica, and my talk tonight is about the importance of knowing your why. Basically having clarity about why you even started the journey that you're on. So, my question to you is, what is your why? Do you remember that moment? Do you remember if there was an event, or a person, or something that you wanted to do or say that gave you hope and inspiration? Remember, I was 10 years old. It was middle school, and I told my mom, I think I want to be a doctor. Now my mother's eyes opened up, because my mom was all excited. Mom did cosmetology for several years. My dad sold ice cream and raised pigs when I was a baby. So my parents were like, oh my gosh, she wants to be a doctor, let's do this, right? And I had no idea what that meant. I literally just saw myself, rosy cheek, long brown hair, and I wanted to wear a white coat. And I wanted to have that stethoscope around my neck. And I wanted to talk to people. And that's all I knew. That's all I saw. And I started thinking about, over time, what inspired me to do that. A little bit of background. My mom got polio when she was 2. Her left leg is atrophied. It is very sensitive, but she has no motor function. So my mother has a very distinct gait, and has had to do a lot of things over the years to basically keep up, as she says. And I remember, it didn't matter what we were doing, she always wanted to allow me the opportunity and the space to be myself, to be my own person, to accomplish whatever I wanted to accomplish. So she would tell me, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can go there, you can go there. So it didn't matter what it was. It could have been, Mom, I feel like jogging today. Obviously my mother can't run, but like this high, what do I know? So she's like moving in place, right? Doing the shuffle, acting like she's running. And I'm totally buying it because it's my mom. And I remember that when I decided to be a doctor, I said I wanted to be important. What does a 10-year-old know about being important? Do you measure that by how much money you have, whether you're a household name, did you write a book, did you save somebody's life, did you get a kitten out of the tree? What does that mean to be important? Well, in my household, my abuela had diabetes. And in my house, we knew that if she started to sweat and felt weak and was kind of off, we'd ask her to sit down and run to the refrigerator and get a bit of orange juice. Give it to abuela, and ask her in a couple minutes if she felt okay. We had no idea why I did it, but Mom taught us. She trained us, and everybody knew this. So, in hindsight, as an adult, what I came to see is that being important to me meant being the go-to person. Not running for help, not picking up a phone and calling. I wanted to be the person with answers. I was frustrated by getting questions and not being able to be the person with answers. So that's how I measured being important. My next point is being self-aware. What do you think you are exceedingly fabulous at? What do you knock out the park every single time you try? And where do you kind of fall a little behind? Or are a little lackluster in your performance? And that one takes a little bit more work. Not necessarily because it's humbling to say that you suck at baseball, or you can't juggle, or that, that math test was probably not my best. Okay, Valerie?
Totally fine.
Being honest. But the hard work is passion in that area, is growing in that area, and being humble enough to ask for help. So, I worked 4 years before medical school. And I was basically in telecom. I graduated. I knew I wanted to go to medical school. I was fiercely afraid of the MCAT. I was just like, I'm not doing that while doing orgo and doing physics. Shooting myself in the foot. No thank you. And so I decided to become a little bit creative. I was like, I'm going to work. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to travel. And then they're going to want me. They're not going to care what that MCAT is, right? So that's what I did. And I first got a position in sales. And then I went over to the operations department. And then I got promoted twice in the same fiscal year and became a project manager. I basically had phone and internet installed for small to medium-sized businesses, and I had technicians who had been installing LPNs and complete networks and changing routers and doing phone systems, just, at my beck and call. Hey, can you go run to this customer? Can you go install this? I need to make this happen by the 29th. This is the end of the month. Let's make it happen. So I knew how to do those things. But when I came to medical school, I was a little rusty, and I was struggling. And I was having panic attacks during exams. And I would get anxious when I would study in groups. And I felt like I couldn't hold my own. So I didn't tell her that she was going to get a shot out, because she maybe would have considered coming. But I don't know if everyone in this room knows Christina Gautreau. But I know Christina Gautreau. She's one of my closest friends. And she's the person that allowed me the space and the opportunity to grow. And where I was weak, she was strong. And the great thing is that there is nothing that you should be ashamed about or embarrassed about when you ask someone for help, when you acknowledge that someone makes you better. Why is that? Because when everyone was freaking out, and nobody wanted to study with Christina because they wanted to study on their own, I showed up. And I kept her company, and I was her friend. And then when the tables turned, and now we're both great, and now we're both achieving what we wanted, then we kept each other sane during step 1 studying, if she knows it. So acknowledge yourself, acknowledge your talents, and acknowledge where you can grow. My biggest caveat with that is, don't cut into yourself. Be kind. Acknowledge, yeah, you have weaknesses, you have places to grow. Maybe you gotta read a book, maybe take an extra course, maybe team up with someone. It doesn't matter what you need to do, but don't cut into the integrity of who you are. Don't say, oh, this is impossible, I can't do it, I'm terrible, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that, because what you do is you hold yourself back. If you work out a muscle, it's gonna grow. If you work out that muscle, it's going to get stronger. But if you don't do the work because you think you can, that muscle, it has the opportunity and the potential to be very strong and very capable and accomplish things that you would have never thought of doing before. You'll never do it because you didn't exercise it. There was a quote of myself in the prior slide that I forgot to mention, and it's that during my interview for this university, I was interviewed by a general surgeon and a cardiologist. Thank goodness I didn't know what they did before at the beginning of the interview, because I got so much more nervous after that. But, they asked me this, standard question. So if this doesn't pan out for you, what are you going to do? Do you have a plan B? And the nerves and all of that, just flurry of emotions that was going on in me just flew away. And I gave him the most matter-of-fact answer that I thought was actually going to cost me the interview when I thought, in hindsight. And it was like, absolutely. I'm a project manager in a corporation, and I'm fast-tracked to be an executive in the company. I'll be a market director and going to be successful at it. But just because I'm great at it doesn't mean that's what I want to do, because when I clock out at the end of the day, it's not enough. And the blank face of the cardiologist hadn't given me an inch the entire interview. He goes, and touches his nose. Yes! So that was the moment that I stepped into my own. That was the first moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I am this amazing person with lots of talents, and I can do whatever I want in this world. And I finally understood what my mother was telling me all those years. But I believed it myself. And I stepped into that, and that's who I was when I came here during orientation. Keep that in mind. Board of Advisors. These are my people. These are the people that I carry in my mind and in my heart in the moments where I'm struggling. In the moments where I want to quit, in the moments where I think I'm lost, when you don't know what you're going to do, when you don't know where you're going to go, and quite frankly, you just want to throw in the towel. These are people who took you to the park to play when you were a kid. This is the biology teacher that chose not to have children because he thought it was better to travel and live his life with his wife and just exist. And that his students were his children, his students were his legacy. It tells you that you're one of his lights. It's when your boss tells you, you can do this, and I want to open a market with you, and you're going to run that market. It's when the people in your family say, congratulations on getting into medical school. Way to make a whole family proud. It's when a dean looks you in the face and tells you, I see myself when I was a kid, and you can do it. Those are the things that change your life. Those are your board of directors. Those are the people that keep you going. Those are the things you keep in your back pocket. And there's a struggle with that may be difficult to acknowledge at first. And it's that when you do things on your own, when you're hardworking and you're steadfast, there's this personal sense of pride. So when people want to help you and take an interest in you, it can sometimes feel a little paternalistic. And unfortunately, if you have a little bit more arrogance than that, it might feel patronizing. But these people are giving you their pearls. These people are pouring into you. These people are taking time out of their day, taking their attention from something they were doing to help you, to spare you a bump in the road that they experienced, to share something with you that they couldn't give to someone else who would have gladly taken it. So acknowledge when someone acknowledges you. Recognize when someone's poured into you. And appreciate it. Accept it humbly. Accept it with gratitude. Be gracious about what they're giving you. And lastly, this is my mantra. This is what I live by. This is what I love. Pay it forward. My grandmother's not going to watch me walk across the stage. Sorry, that wasn't planned. But my entire family is coming out. I have like a reception that I'm doing after graduation. Dr. Bruce said the Dominicans are rolling deep in there, and certainly are. Pay it forward. Do a MedX talk. Go to Welcome Back. Pick up a call from an undergrad. Have a cup of coffee with someone. Buy someone lunch who's struggling. Give back what you can't give or show to the people who did that for you. Because my grandmother can't see me walk across the stage. But maybe the grandmother of someone who wants to do what I'm doing today will see that person. And be assertive. Know who you are. Know where you're going. Know what you're capable of. And step into that. Own that. Don't let anyone undercut your potential. Not even if that person is yourself, because you never know who's watching. And you never know who's following your footsteps. So with that, know your why. Remember your why. And hold true to that. Thank you.